It's the Professional Bowlers Tour. And greetings, ladies and gentlemen, from New Orleans, Louisiana, live and in color. I'm Chris Schenkel, and we're hopeful that you'll stay with us for the next hour and a half because we have a tremendous championship coming up. It's our 12th stop in 13 cities that we make each year, and it's at the Pelican Lanes here in New Orleans. So Weber moves a step closer to the first prize of $6,000 as he'll now face Jim Stefanich from Joliet, Illinois. We'll see the start of that action in just a moment. Now we're looking at Dick Weber. I indicated that he would bowl next against Jim Stefanich. That is not true. His opponent is Skee Foremsky. As a result of a tie, Foremsky and Stefanich bowled it off. And with Stefanich winning at 204 to 202, so in the third spot instead of the second spot, it is this man, Foremsky, who now is facing Dick Weber. Weber, as you saw, opened with a strike.
Sort of a different beginning for him, Chris, than at the Showboat Invitational in Las Vegas. There, it was almost strikes every time as he bowled 265, 266, and 269 that day for an 807 series.
Skee Foremsky of El Paso looking at the 410. And for Skee, it's an open frame in the very first. In the second game, smooth delivery, and the result, strike on the left lane for Skee Foremsky. Now Weber. And now he has a double. Straight line for that pocket, Billy.
Really using the speed to hold that line, Chris.
In his first game, he put together 5 in a row. Now hoping for a 3-bagger.
Chris, that was an excellent shot, too, of the body coming up at the point of the release. Dick always comes up, but he's coming up more today to get that extra leverage in the shot. Excellent footwork on Skee Foremsky.
He has the heels practically off the approach.
And very piston-like footwork.
So it is a spare for Foremsky from El Paso. He had an open frame in the first, came back with a strike. Now with that spare working for him in the third, he'll be shooting in the fourth.
Chris, I would like to emphasize one point. As he starts, this is his individual stance. And this is what is most comfortable to Skee Foremsky. And the important thing is that you do it the same way each and every time.
Smooth delivery. And for Skee, it's his second strike in 4 frames. How do you explain that one, Billy?
Chris, Dick has a little fear of that right lane. You notice that is where he drew the split. He told me that in his practice shots here before the show, the right lane finishes more. He does not want it to go left of his target, so he is rearing terrifically to keep that arm going to the right. Then the shot will not be directed for a split.
And by covering the 2-pin, Dick Weber has a 31-pin lead on Skee Foremsky. On Wide World of Sports later today, the Florida Derby, live from Gulfstream Park in Hallandale, Florida. The 3-year-olds. And then the 12-hour Sebring Grand Prix. NCAA Swimming Championships. So you'll see perfection, just as Weber did with his strike in the 5th frame. And he continues to lead by 31 pins, as we'll have more of the second match coming up. Seven pin on the right lane for Foremsky.
Stopped Butch Gearhart in his match with Weber just when he really had his stroke down. Perfect hit. 4-pin sailing right over the top of the 7.
Foremsky is fair in the 5th frame. A few moments ago, I mentioned Wide World of Sports and 3 of the great events. As a bonus on Wide World today, in World Hockey competition, last night, the Czechoslovakians upset the Russians in a fantastic game, and highlights of that event will also be a part of today's Wide World of Sports. 5 Eastern Time, 4 Central. The 6-pin was the only one that didn't go down for Foremsky. Now, the winner of this game will meet Jim Stefanich from Joliet, Illinois. Repeating that the man you're looking at now, Foremsky and Stefanich, tied. They rolled off the full game, with Stefanich winning at 204 to 202.
Yes, Chris, it's very rare that you see 2 players finish in the standings, both with identical pinfall and identical number of wins in match play competition. And that is what Skee and Jim Stefanich did. According to PBA rules, this requires a 1-game playoff.
10-pin for Dick Weber. He had a strike working, shooting in the 6th frame.
Now, that's the same type of hit that Skee had in leaving the 7. The 4 went over the 7. On that type of hit, with, again, the good speed, it sends the 6 into motion, and it just goes right over the top of the 10.
For those of you that just joined us, we're in New Orleans today, 12th stop out of 13 across the United States on the Professional Bowlers Tour. We're originating our live color telecast from the Pelican Lanes. Dick Weber won the first game over Butch Gearhart, 224 to 203, and here he is now in the lead in the second. Four-pin for Weber.
And it's interesting, Chris, that he has not made an error to the left. Here, watch as it goes to the right again. You see in fact, most of the pin action is to the right. The type of roll and the speed keeps that ball in the playing area.
Weber now a chance to rest. Looking at the overhead score sheets. Now ready to bowl is Foremsky. Shooting in the 7th, spare working. Two, 4, and the 7 for lefty Skee Foremsky of El Paso, Texas. Incidentally, Billy, for the first time, ABC Television, ABC Sports, will be here in New Orleans January 1st, 1970. Live color coverage of the Sugar Bowl football game. Really thrilled about it.
I know that will be exciting, and
that means I can hear more of Pete Fountain, right?
Close to home, and maybe I can come over and join you, because he's certainly beautiful to be with and to listen to.
I just hired you as our football statistician on that day, Billy.
I'll be here.
You're such a great man on figures of all types. Bachelor Billy.
Skee is a bachelor, too, Chris, but he doesn't expect to be in those ranks long. He introduced me to his fiancée here this week. Got me a little scared, a little nervous.
Uh-huh.
But I think he made an excellent selection, and...
there she is, Barbara McCall. Well, Dick Weber of St. Louis, Missouri, is in the lead by 35 pens, as we'll return with the balance of this match in just a moment. And now we go to the final stages of this second match. On our way to determine the New Orleans Lions Club Open champion here at the Pelican Lanes. Dick Weber leading by 35 pens, about to stroke. He is going against Skee Foremsky. The winner of this game will meet Jim Stefanich. The winner of that game, Billy Allen, in the finals. He is looking, and he can't believe the 7-8 still stand.
Chris, that is very irregular. He's in disbelief. Watch as it hits light. Many times this hit, you see the full pin action. Now that pin right there comes in front, takes the 4 across, knocks out the 5, does not touch the 7 or 8. It's not a difficult split, and as accurate as Weber is, it's oftentimes made. Caught that trek, though, and he didn't get his hook, Chris.
All right. So for Weber, it's an open in the 8th. Foremsky, his opponent, had an open frame in the very 1st. Decreases Weber's lead to 22 pens.
And Chris, oftentimes we speak of that track. That is what has been playing havoc with the players here this week, especially from the right side. It's very deep, it's very worn, but you must be in it. If you cross it, the ball will not hook back.
And like the great champion that he is, coming back with a strike in the 9th, and up steps Foremsky with a spare working in the 8th. You know, this year the Tournament of Champions in golf moves to a new location, La Costa Country Club. This tournament, of course, features the best golfers in the world. Only those who have won sanctioned PGA tournaments in the past year can compete. April 19th, April 20th, live color telecast, the Tournament of Champions on ABC.
Striking in the 9th puts himself into position to force Weber to mark. Skee is now 143 in the 8th. The strike up, checking the overhead score screen. With 3 strikes, can go out for 203. Weber would then need a mark of some kind and a 9-pin count.
All right, Billy. And again, the 10 toppled, the 6 is left for Foremsky.
He's done quite a bit of pulling in this match. He did trust the one out there early, and it didn't come back for him, and perhaps a little fear developed, and he's been pulling the ball back. Therefore, he's going to finish inside of his target.
The New Orleans Open, sponsored in cooperation with the Lions clubs here in Louisiana. And some of the proceeds benefit the Lions Crippled Children's Camp in Leesville, Louisiana. Certainly a worthy cause for these unfortunate youngsters.
There was one off, and the ball did not come back. It stays way to the left.
So Foremsky has bowled a 180. Weber bowling now. Weber continues his winning ways. In the first game, beating Butch Gearhart 224 to 203, and now getting the best of Skee Foremsky, who bowled a 180.
With victory assured on that first stroke there in the 10th, I noticed Weber trying a little something. Moved his target line a little to the left to get a little bit more of the track, and delayed the roll, sort of open-handed it a little bit so he wouldn't catch that quick lift off the end of the fingertips. And the ball did flush into the pocket a little bit more.
Billy, what a match will be coming up. 9-time PBA champion Jim Stefanich, 17-time PBA champion Weber. Dick Weber has bowled a 204, winning by 24 pins. In the second game, he was a victor by 21 in the first. So, Dick Weber moves up to meet Jim Stefanich. You're watching the Professional Bowlers Tour.